Good job today, man. One at a time, and we'll get the job done. Y'all know what to say. On three. 1, 2, 3.
And the home of the Jets.
What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. What's up, Joe? How you doing, man? What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody?
Well, I'm having a little bit of a...
Yeah, we got like a... What's up, Joe? How you doing, man? What's up, Joe? How you doing, man? What's up, everybody? What's up,
Hold on. I'm having a little bit of a...
like a... Hold on, I muted it.
Joe, how you doing, man? What's up, everybody? What's up? There's something going on.
It's the back on your speakers, maybe?
There's something going on.
It's back on your speakers, maybe? Back on your speakers, maybe?
Something going on. Something going on. Do you hear that?
Back on your speakers, maybe? Back on your speakers, maybe? It's a lot of feedback. It's a Monday night mess. It sounded good before. A lot of feedback.
Jesus.
It's a Monday night mess. It sounded good before. You got headphones, Joe?
Jesus. Yeah, but it's just replaying everything. You got to give me a second. I'll go run them and get some headphones. I'm sorry, man.
No problem. What's up, everybody? How you guys doing? Joe's getting his stuff figured out real quick. It's funny because we did a sound check a couple seconds ago and he sounded fine, so no big deal there. But hope everybody is well. If you want, we have some Quinnen Williams stuff to talk about. If you guys want to talk about that, where Quinnen Williams he changed his Twitter banner to saying defensive tackle of the underscore. So the Quinnen Williams negotiations are probably stalled right now. So it makes things interesting. Then you have the Quan Alexander is currently, I think he's meeting with the Pittsburgh Steelers tonight. So Quan Alexander could be gone, which would be interesting if you guys feel comfortable with Jamie Sherwood or Nasruddin. Yeah, the Quinnen thing, this is part of negotiations though, man. This is how it works. This is, until it gets to training camp, I'm not going to really worry that much, but we'll see. Definitely interesting. I think, yeah, that's right. We got sound problems already at this. I don't think Quinnen Williams is going to be traded, dude. I mean, his brother's here. I think it's just a part of just negotiations. I think when you have Robert Saleh and Joe Douglas both saying things are going great, we expect them back, it's going to be done. This is probably his chance to push back a little bit. So we'll see. I mean, I'm kind of thinking the same thing where it's like you think you could have paid Quinnen earlier in the offseason, but maybe they had to restructure Aaron Rodgers' contract first. I'm not sure. So we'll see about that. Yeah, I kind of think the same thing, man. I don't think he leaves his brother either. All right, we're going to try it again. We're going to try take 2 with Joe. He's walking around now. Uh-oh. This is like going with Joe Cat now. I mean, this is probably Quinnen's agent telling him to do this, man. If you watch every NFL player at this time, I think that they all do the same thing. I don't think he's going anywhere, but usually like the most of the agents, they're like, all right, you do the whole social media thing, then the fans react, then the media reacts, especially now in the quiet time of year. So I'm not surprised at all that this happened. I wish it didn't get to this point, but it's only May 15th. So if we get to June and this is we get to like July, late July, early August, then you start worrying. Joe left me, so now it's just me. This is second worst of prime. Oh, come on, Elmo. We're trying here. This is Joe's first time on the show. And we did a sound check and it worked fine. Yeah, if Quan goes to the Steelers, man, I mean, that's interesting. I like him a lot, man. So we'll see what happens there. I mean, I think they're saying he wanted between 25 and 30 million a year. So, I mean, what's Aaron Donald's average? I think it's less than that, right? He was getting 30 a year. So we'll see what happens with that. Quinn is one of the main bases to our defense. I agree. Who do you guys think's more? Who's the best defensive player on the team? He's probably him, right? You can say him or Sauce. Who's the best player? It's got to be him. So we'll see, man. This is definitely interesting. There's not a lot of depth, man. Not a lot of depth. I mean, I think everybody's saying when Sherwood came in last year, when CJ was hurt, that he filled in admirably. He played really well. He had 3 tackles in a row or something like that. But man, I don't know. That's a tough one. All right, he's back.
I think we're okay now. I changed locations. That was crazy.
What I was saying, we did a sound check and it was fine. I'm like, what the hell happened?
I don't know.
So Joe, first off, welcome to the show. This is
what's up, boys?
I'm on. So good to have you.
Great to be here. I'm real excited to be here with you guys. Tyson, I've known you for a while, but I finally figured a way to get on the show. So I'm pretty happy.
Well, I've been to your tailgate many times, so we're going to talk tailgate. We're going to talk football, but let's talk about, as a lifelong Jets fan, man, how cool is it right now to be a fan of this team with Aaron Rodgers and Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson? This is a different feeling, right?
Oh, it really is. And I'll tell you what, it starts all the way going back to the draft last year. I was there in the inner circle, and you just felt how electric it was, and everyone was so – even all the fans for the other teams, they were so excited for what was going on that night with all those draft picks with Sauce and Garrett and Brees and all those guys. And just, that feeling. I mean, Tyson, when you go to the game, we have a great time no matter what we do. We're there and we're in the parking lot. We're with our friends, our family, and then we go into the game. But we haven't had that feeling when you're standing in the lot tailgating where you're just so anxious to get in that stadium to see exactly what's going to happen. Yep. And we haven't had that feeling in a very long time. I mean, some people say, 2015, but it didn't even happen then. It really goes back to probably 2010 coming off of that year. And maybe for most of the Brett Favre year until, we came back from Tennessee in week 11.
Yep. And again, yeah, exactly. But it's like, so what made you a fan of this team? Let's go back a little bit.
Oh, geez. So, growing up, I wasn't a football fan. I played basketball. I was really serious about that. Around the late 90s, around 97, 98, a friend of mine, his family had season tickets at the old stadium, and they were just never getting used. And so I said, hey, you got the tickets. I'll take care of the food and the tailgate party. I'm an Italian kid from Staten Island. Entertaining and the food and having everyone around the table is how I grew up. And so it's just a natural for me to gravitate towards that. And so I handled the food and he had the tickets and we just went every week. And, it was like, 2, 3, 4 guys, 6 guys, just friends that I've had forever. And what I saw happening was every week, some of my friends would bring some of their friends, and it just got bigger and bigger every week. Friends of friends. Got to a point where we were getting 30, 40, 50 people were showing up just from word of mouth. And, hey, you got to come hang out with us at the game. It's a great time. These guys cook some amazing food. It's a lot of fun. And we used to park right around the side from where 16H was. I know, you remember that party. It was a great party at the time. At the end of, I'd say that at the end of the 2008 season, we had just so much fun with Favre and what was going on until it wasn't fun. And then the anticipation for the new stadium and everything. I came up with this idea that, there's a lot of people that would love to go and join what we do and have this experience. But because we live in New York, it's just not possible. They live in apartments, they don't have cars, they don't want to deal with carrying grills. And so I said, hey, why not just start up a website, open it to the public, and whoever, wants to come and join us. We do a little bit of we do some charity stuff. It's a good networking opportunity. Some of my best friends that I have to this day are guys that I met from, friends of friends over that last 10 years tailgating. Right. And so it just made sense. And at the same time I'm coming up with this, someone's telling me that, the 16H guys are gone. And, that was a big party, but it wasn't, it was like kind of right before the internet and social media and everything really kind of. And so they didn't have that kind of organized structure. It was just something you had to know about and you could show up and get a cup You know,
Exactly.
it was a keg party. It was a keg party, and whatever the guy killed in his hunt the week before is what he threw on a grill. So he had some, you know, some deer or some bear or whatever it was. But it was an awesome party. But anyway, that was gone, and so I created Tailgate Joe because there was no Tailgate Joe. Like there was no party, there was no organized things for people to go and be a part of, and and so it just started. And you know, first year, you know, 40, 50 people. We thought, oh, this is awesome. And it just grew every year with the team getting worse every year. So that's been the, you know.
That's a test of time right there.
It really is. So, you know, so we're at this point now where last year we had anywhere from like 300 to 600 plus people per game. And the way I built my reputation on the food. The food we serve is awesome. It's the best in the lot. You know, and
no, I've been there,
really
dude. Your food, like, and that's the thing. The really cool thing about what you offer, because I've been to your I love your tailgate, dude. I can't wait to go this year. I love it. It's a gourmet food. It's excellent. But like for a lot of fans, like it takes a lot of time. You got to load your grill. You got to load your food. You got to get your cooler. You got to do all these things. You got to carry. Then you get to the park. And then you got to cook and do this. And you don't have time to actually interact with your friends and hang out. Where it's like you go to your tailgate, man. It's like, all right, I just show up. I can eat, I could drink, I could talk, I have a good time, and then I go inside the stadium. Like it makes it easier, especially. But the thing you mentioned, which is really good, is a lot of our subscribers from out of town, man. They're flying in from Florida, they're flying in from Connecticut, or from not Connecticut, like Texas, all over overseas, and they're taking trains to the stadium, or they're taking an Uber. Where the last thing you want to do is bring in a cooler or try to carry, like people are trying to carry a case of beer across the parking lot, all this stuff. You take away all that hassle, man, which is great because I do that when I travel. When I go to road trips, I'm not going to tailgate. I'm not going to bring my own tailgating shit. I'm going to go find somebody else's tailgate to go to. So what we do on road trips, you're doing for the home games, which is awesome, dude.
Exactly. And, you know, it's still, even though it's bigger, even though the food is like that next level, it's still a traditional tailgate experience, right? It's just a little bigger and the food's a little better or a lot better. But it's just that still... It's as big as it is. See, it's not one of those commercial tailgates that like, you know, like the teams will sometimes throw over by the gate or something like that. It happens all, you know, we've been to them around the NFL when we've traveled. I'm sure you've been to them too.
Yep.
But it's just that feel. I mean, look, my mom is there stuffing the cannolis and she's on the food line.
Yep.
If you check in to get your bracelet, that was my father that you checked in. It's a family thing. And the cool thing is so with the food, the passion that I have for it and serving, it's what I serve my family and my best friends, and everyone else gets to partake in that of what I do for my family. And honestly, everyone that's been coming, I've got people that have been coming since the beginning. I got people, I mean, doing this since 2009. It's a long time now. I've seen kids grow up from like toddlers to, you know, middle school, high school. I mean, it's been a while, and it's a really cool thing. What
I like about it too is you have like it's like a diverse group, like everybody's welcome. You have music, you have the food like that, and opposing fans are there. You can interact and talk to them. It's like it's a really cool vibe, dude. Like I met like the one game I met all the Bengals fans, I met Texans fans, and it's just everybody's just cool. There's no bullshit, there's no nonsense. Like everybody's there for a good time, man. It's a game. It's not life or death. It's a game. Have a great experience. Get your eat, drink, have a great merry time, and go enjoy football. You know, it's the way it should be, man.
Well, you know, the interesting thing you mentioned about the visiting fans, you know, we were all kids at some point. We were all, you know, high school kids or college kids or whatever, and had that kind of attitude where, you know, giving people a hard time, whatever. I outgrew that a long time ago as a fan that travels to other stadiums.
Yep.
And so we've always been very welcoming to visiting fans. And so I'm a part of two super fan organizations. One is Pro Football's Ultimate Fan Association, and the other is Tailgating Hall of Fame. I'm the only Jets fan that's a member of both of those. And one of the core things is just fellowship amongst fans, and not just Jet fans, but all fans, right? We can all root against that team on the field that we're playing against. And I can hate the Dolphins. I can hate the Patriots, but that doesn't mean I have to hate the guy hanging out wearing the jersey. And because I've embraced that through those organizations, my level of fandom has skyrocketed. I'm having so much more enjoyment, like you said, meeting all these people that I would never interact with, traveling. Like I'll travel to all these games now across the league, and I'm like at parties with all these people and have a great time. And so once you get past that idea of like, having to kind of have a problem with the opposing fan and you embrace it, I'm telling you, your level of fandom just skyrockets and you have so much more fun.
No, we have we travel all the time, like to road
Yeah.
games like that. And it's like, listen, like in the parking lot, you talk some shit here and there, you have some fun,
Right.
but it's like it's all in good nature. Like I like talking to other fans to hear their perspective on our team. Like, all right, like the Bengals fans, I'm like, what do you think about the Jets? Or like we were down at Carolina talking to Panther fans. Like, it's really cool. Like, I'm past that animosity stage. Maybe the Patriot game gets a little testy. Like, once you go inside the stadium and the game starts, that's where the intensity picks up. But like before the game, I like to just meet people, talk to them, like get their perspective on their team, what they think. And it's a lot of fun, dude. So it's a really cool, it's a cool experience. I love the way you guys do it. I said, and for people that travel from out of town, it's easier. For people that are even like local, like me, dude, I don't feel like cooking. Like Kevin's in the chat right now. Kevin puts so much time and energy to making food and spending this, but you don't have time to actually enjoy it yourself,
Yeah.
So, and then you also have like beer pong and stuff there too. I think I remember that.
Yeah. So, since the pandemic, Yingling has been a partner of ours, a sponsor. And so we proudly serve Yingling, and we have, beer pong tables set up. We have flip cup, cornhole. We have everything you need at a traditional tailgate party. We have there, and people use those flip cup beer pong tables as kind of like congregating points, like right there in the middle of the party. Yeah, and we have anywhere from like 8 to 12 of those tables set up for every.
So we'll do a little bit more on tailgate. So then for people to go, obviously tailgatejoe.com is where everybody goes. And so is it recommended to sign up in advance? I remember last year, I remember some of your things were sold out. Like you book up fast, dude.
Yeah.
So,
So we try and keep it open as long as possible. But we definitely do sell out. And I anticipate we probably will a lot this year. But yeah, you can go on the site and you can register right there for any of the games. If you're a season ticket holder, and you're going to go to the majority of the games, there's even like a season tailgate pass that's a pretty significant discount off of the regular donation per game. And so I definitely recommend taking advantage of that. Even if you're going to go to like, let's see, there's 9 home games this year. Even if you're going to go to like 7 of the 9 or 6 of the 9, whatever it is, getting that kind of locks you in at a very, very reasonable price. And I do that for, because I have so many people that have been coming forever and come to every game. And so we try and make it as easy as we can for people to join us.
So now what time does your tailgate start? For like, say, a 1:00 game, what time would it start?
Well, unfortunately, just like everyone else, we're governed by the rules of MetLife. And so they open up the lot 5 hours before. We try and be in as soon as they open up. And, it takes us, a half hour, 45 minutes or so to kind of to get the kit, get everything kind of built up and set out. And we start pouring, and then food starts coming out, and it goes until, right before 1. We would go right to 1. And people would have no like real hurry to get into the game because we know how we've been the last decade plus. It was never a hurry to get in there, right? But last season it started getting real kind of exciting. The Jets had that initiative with the fireworks, the kind of signal for everyone to go in. I wish they would get a little more into that, and I wish those fireworks would be a little more significant. Regardless of that, we do try now to get people in a little earlier. So I want to kind of cut it at like 1/4 to 1. I mean, what's the real difference between a quarter to 1 and 1, really? So that's what we're looking to do. But we're there. We have food out all day. My mom starts stuffing the cannolis around 11 o'clock, around 11:30. And
so now, and then. Well, the only thing I noticed too is you have like special things for your menu too. Like the menu changes every week because like sometimes you go to tailgate, it's like the same shit every week. Like hot dogs, hamburgers, whatever. You change it up, and there's like you have all kinds of different menus and stuff.
Yeah, so some guys like
to get into that next.
So some guys like to get into that, the theme based on the visiting team. I don't know that I don't know that the Dolphins need to dictate what I serve. So, but we do themes and stuff. One of the more popular ones is the Italian American theme, where it's it's Italian food, obviously a burger that's kind of around that and a bunch of things. My favorite theme is the Asian 80s, where we do like an Asian inspired menu, and we'll have I'm making fried rice on like a 40-inch diameter paella pan. It's like literally, it's like,
Yeah.
and dumplings and egg rolls and all that stuff, and an 80s DJ. Right, so I have a house DJ. We have the best DJ in the lot, DJ Vinny Goods. He's a huge fan of yours, by the way, Tyson, and the show. So I want to throw a shout out to him. He's at every one of my games, and so for the Asian 80s, he does an 80s theme. It's a lot of fun, and so we're gonna probably do a few other themes this year as well.
No, we're definitely looking for. I can't wait, dude. Like home opener, I cannot wait. I will be there bright and early, ready to just eat, drink, and have a great time. So let's talk some Jets, since everybody wants to talk some Jets. Everyone's excited.
Let's do it.
So you've been a fan a long time, and I could be honest with you. I think this is the first time in probably a decade, but maybe even longer, that I'm legitimately excited to go to games. Like we would manufacture excitement, dude. You had to embrace Zach Wilson, right? You had to embrace Sam Darnold. We put all this, Mike White. We had to kind of embrace him and all these different guys. And you're like, even like the Todd Bowles, Ryan Fitzpatrick. We knew that was kind of like a magic carpet ride. That wasn't going to last either. There was no way that was going to be sustainable. And now it's like this year, it's like Jets are selling tickets like crazy. But like you're legitimately excited for I want week one. I want to see Aaron Rodgers running out of that tunnel, and the Jets have a chance to be one of the top teams in the AFC. Like, that's amazing. It's such a different time right now.
We can talk about Aaron Rodgers and how amazing that is and how it blows my mind. But even before Aaron Rodgers, it's just look at how well the Jets drafted last year, right?
Yeah.
Look at, for the first dynamic playmakers. I mean, guys, up until like last year, what Jet on the roster are you going and buying the jersey for? Like, what Jet is the kid that's like watching all the games and likes all the stars and all the stats? What jersey is that kid buying? Now they're buying Sauce Gardner, they're buying Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall. I mean, it's dynamic playmakers on both sides of the ball, and they're young. They're young. And that's the beauty of it. And it's the first time we have that, and it makes the game so exciting. It's not just like a ground and pound. We're only going to score 15, 16 points, 8, but we're going to score maybe a touchdown and a field goal, but we're going to hold the team to 0. And okay, that's not exciting. Now we have dynamic playmakers. And that's the difference.
So now, what are your thoughts on Coach Saleh so far? Because to me, it's like last year, there's a lot of really good things, but towards the end, you're like, oh, lost 6 in a row, didn't show up on Thursday Night Football, didn't show up in Seattle. That's really bad. But I think he's got a lot of pressure on him this year, man, because you're looking like the expectations for all of us. Like, my expectation is make a really good run at the AFC East, make a legitimate run in the playoffs. Anything less than that is unacceptable. But he's also got to manage a young team with high expectations and also a superstar quarterback. So there's a lot of personalities, a lot of expectations, a lot of things. What are your thoughts on Saleh, man?
I like him. I really do. I think, he inherited a team that was really devoid of talent when it's, from the beginning. And him and Joe D have just been trying to, build a team, build a roster, and build a culture, because none of that was there, and it hasn't been for a long time. I mean, it's like multi-generational with the lack of culture and the lack of talent building on that team. And that doesn't change overnight. That takes a while to change. And I think we're seeing it. And I think that the team came along a year quicker than they expected. Yep. I don't think they expected the success they had last year. And so, they're all learning how to win. And I like his energy. I like what the guy says. He sat there after we took the first loss, and he said, "Look, this is not it, right? I'm taking receipts," because he knew what he had, and he knew where he was going to go. And by the end of the season, look, they fell down a little bit, but I mean, look at the quarterback changes. It was insane. Yeah. How can anyone win what we won with that amount of quarterback changes? But he knew where he was going. I think he was confident in it. And I think it's just going to carry on this year.
Now, what do you think about his defense? Because last year they were a top defense. They were dominant to the point where they were the focus point of the game because the offense was so bad at times. But now I think, again, with the same expectations of a really good team, everybody's saying this better be a top 5 defense, where you have a much more difficult schedule, right? Yeah. Better quarterback play you're going to go against. But I think also it's year 2 for a lot of these guys too. Sauce Gardner year 2, that's going to be a big step. That also helps too. And they all know the system now. DJ Reed knows the system even more now. So exactly. Do you think it's fair to say they should still be a top 5, top 8 defense this year?
I don't see a good reason or explanation that would point to them being any less than what they were last year at a minimum. I just don't see it. We didn't have any major losses on the defensive line, on the whole defensive side.
Yeah,
And
rankings does it really
on the defense side, yeah, we didn't really have many losses. And I mean, if that Sauce's freshman year, and he seems like the type of guy who understands what it takes, and he understands how to be a professional. I don't see him being the guy that's going to rest on his laurels. I see him getting better. I mean, he's got a different personality than Revis, but I think the work ethic is there. And I think that desire to be the best and to understand what it takes to be that is there. Just what Revis had. And so I can see him. I mean, I'm excited for him to the point that he's going to be like the guy that they're just not going to throw to. The defense, it's just going to keep getting better. I really feel that it is. There's no reason for not. We got the kid that we drafted in the first round, McDonald. A lot of people are saying a reach, and maybe that's true. And some people are nervous because Edge, who was a physical freak at the combine, we know who that screams out from.
Vernon Golston.
Yeah, I want to say the name. So, but I have trust in Joe D. I think Joe D's he is a talent evaluator, in my opinion. He really is, in a way that the last few guys just haven't been. And
yeah,
so
I mean, I think to cut you off real quick, I think the one thing the guy Jim Nagy from the Senior Bowl talked about Will McDonald too, saying like like he thought his explosiveness, his bend, he had him as one of the top pass rushers in the draft, and he's like just based on what he brings to the table and what he's going to add to your defense, he has a clear, defined role what he can do that a lot of other players can't do. A lot of the Jets don't have right now. Like Jermaine Johnson's a certain style, Carl Lawson's a certain style. Will McDonald's a whole different kind of player that you're another element. So if you have solid defense where you want to have all these different kinds of pass rushers, that's a different look. And that's something like Joe Douglas, like you mentioned, he gets the benefit of the doubt because he's coming off a draft class where he had defensive rookie of the year and offensive rookie of the year. So it's gonna be like, who am I to judge right now? But listen, man, that's if you and Salah, that's what you like.
So plus AVT the year before. I mean, how integral was that guy when he was in there, just switching around, being able to be versatile on the offensive line the way he was. So, look, Zach Wilson was a pick that had to be made. There was no GM that was not going to make that pick if they were in the position they were in as Jets GM. Yep. And so I'm not going to hang Joe D on that because that was a pick anyone was making. No ifs, ands, or buts. And so, other than that, go past, look, man, go looking back the last 10 years, the last 12 years, go and look back at what our draft has been. And then you tell me that who we've got there now is not just light years better, going back to Tanny maybe.
Yeah, I like Tannenbaum. Yeah, like McHagnon, those other guys are bad. But so you go the defensive side of the ball, I think a lot of pass rush, a lot of speed. I'm hoping to get Quan Alexander back, but I know he's meeting with the Steelers tonight. That sucks. Then you go on the offensive side of the ball, Rodgers obviously is the biggest thing. But to me, it's like the Jets finally have legitimate playmakers all over the field where if they want to key on Garrett Wilson, well, go for it because you still have Alan Lazard, you have Hardman, you have Corey Davis, you have tight ends that can catch the ball. Plus, you have Breece Hall coming out of the backfield. You got Izzy, you got Michael. Like, dude, like they're legitimately finally have talent. Like I'm telling you, like in the years past, dude, we do previews and you make up like bullshit. You had to sell yourself on. Like, well, like we have this guy, and they were like at like David Nelson's and all these other guys. You got to like kind of do stuff, right? Yeah. And now it's like you're looking at the talent they're bringing on a field where you could pretty much man up with anybody. You can go toe to toe with most defenses and have a good chance of putting up points. And that's a huge difference, man.
And the exciting thing is how young they all are. And this is what like I said in the beginning when I said we could talk about Aaron Rodgers and how crazy that is. But the beauty of this whole thing with Aaron Rodgers is, we didn't have to change what we're doing. We didn't have to change the development and the trajectory of the team when we brought him in, right? So Aaron Rodgers just comes in for a moment in time. Maybe we get 2 years, maybe we get 3 years, who knows? But when he leaves, those kids are all still so young. How many of them are still on their rookie contracts and they're just continuing to develop? And now they've gotten that 2 years or 3 years of learning how to win, right? It's like I said, a friend of mine, a real dear friend of mine is a Buccaneers fan, runs the Buccaneers party. Maybe it's better than my party. I don't even know. Maybe, who knows? Whatever. She's probably listening. So yeah, her party's better. But when Brady walked into that room, it made everyone on that team 2 inches taller. It made everyone on that team, another 10th or 2 faster. You know what I'm saying? It just made everyone. And so I think Aaron Rodgers is going to do the same thing. And when his time is done, I think the culture that he's imparted and that winning attitude and like teaching those kids to win, that those are intangibles that team will now have and we'll be able to carry with them because they'll still be there.
No, I completely agree, dude. 'Cause, the funny thing was the Jets tried to sell us that Joe Flacco was that guy. Joe Flacco, Super Bowl MVP. He's a winner. He's this, he's that. But he was half asleep on the sideline. He can give two shits to being there. He didn't care. He was getting his paycheck like this. But now you have Aaron Rodgers in the building where half these guys look up to him, like they're starstruck. And then he's been there, done it. But he's already he's embraced being a Jet. But he's already has that mindset. Like we made a shirt, dude, become the Dragon. Because he says, listen, we want to be the best team in the NFL. We want team's best shot. We want to be that team everybody wants to beat. But his mindset, that winning mindset, that next level, like you said, has these guys working out harder. They're studying harder. But the thing that made me most excited was where we talked to Sauce Gardner, and Sauce was like, he's telling me how quarterbacks are going to attack me, so Sauce could be better. So it even trickles over to the defensive side of the ball where they're going to get better just by learning, all right, listen, when I face your defense, this is what I'm doing. So they can adjust there too. So all the way around, they're getting better, man. And that's
100%.
That's the one thing you're worried about. Because when they mentioned Aaron Rodgers as an option, and I'm like, is he going to come here, just collect a check, not give two shits, and a year be gone, and we're going to be stuck having the same conversation next year looking for a quarterback? And he changed that feeling in a matter of one press conference. Dude, we're like, this guy, he's talking about we got to make the playoffs. We got to do this. We don't want to be mediocre. Bro, that translates throughout the organization. That went through the entire fan base. That's a culture changer right there.
Agreed. Look, there was an immediate difference, I feel like, when Favre came in. And all of a sudden, I mean, there was a lot of people like to knock that year, but I feel like they're Jet fans that are maybe a little too young that don't really remember it. I mean, look, I was in Miami for week one when he was throwing bombs into the end zone. Yeah, I know you are. I think you were with me. I think you were with me in the parking lot. I threw a party in the parking lot before. This was a year before Tailgate Joe was Tailgate Joe, and you were at my party.
It was freaking hot as hell that day.
Yeah, dude. Week 10, I was in Tennessee when we beat the 10-0 Titans. And I came out of there like, we're going to the Super Bowl. And I think that there was that excitement. I remember in was it Hard Knocks or something? I remember Favre saying yeah, we're going to win a lot of games. This is it. We're going to win a lot of games. And obviously he got hurt and it didn't happen. I feel like with Rodgers now, I feel like it's even twice as much. Yeah. Right? I feel like Aaron Rodgers is even is twice as motivated. And
I don't think Favre wanted to be here. Favre wanted to go to Vikings. He wanted to get his way to get back at the Packers. I think Aaron Rodgers legitimately wants to be here because Hackett's here, Lazard's, everything else. It's a little bit different. But the thing when Favre was here, because I was at every training camp practice. I fanboyed out in the worst way, was that week in and week out, you had a chance to win. You knew you had a chance to win because a lot of times with the Jets, we've had so many bad quarterbacks. We never had the better quarterback on the field. We had the better running back, the better defense, the better running game. Like with Sanchez, it was ground and pound. Like we didn't have the quarterback that was going to go toe-to-toe. I know he beat Brady in the playoffs, but it's but this year on the field, we could have the better quarterback at times, which is rare. Or you have a guy that if you're down by 10 in the fourth quarter, you know what? He's got a shitload of comebacks in his arsenal. He can do all this stuff.
Agreed. Yeah, no, it's a difference this year for sure. And there's an excitement there, right? Because you're in that seat, and I hope the Jet fans are just going to sit in those seats for the, beginning to end and watch that whole game because there'll be some crazy things. Look, it's easy to leave. I guess it's easy to leave in that third quarter or beginning of that fourth quarter when you don't have that quarterback. I guess I'm not the one that does it, but no, me either. But you see the exodus happen, right?
Yeah.
But now we're going to have that quarterback. We've got these dynamic playmakers. And so I hope everyone's going to sit there for the whole game, cheer them on, and really enjoy what we have on that field because it's going to be special. It really is.
I think this is, dude. I got a question for you. You got to be honest, though. Which stadium do you like better, the Meadowlands or MetLife? Don't lie.
Well, no, I'm not going to lie. When it comes to the state, I got no allegiance to a building. All right. When I was in the Meadowlands, I was all the way up top. I was a row from the top, like the second to last row. I could wave at the
that's right
pilots coming in and out. Yeah, coming in and out of Newark Airport. I could wave to them. And so I was stuck there. I like the layout. I like the spirals made it easy to get in and out of that stadium. The new stadium, I'm down at the 100 level. I'm down in 123, so I'm down by the corner. So I have a much different experience. It's not as electric as the old stadium was, but that's more, I feel like, a product of the team and where it's been the last however long. I think that the stadium is a big letdown as far as like concessions and amenities. Even in the club, because I've had experience in the club section too, and the clubs are better, but they're not what they could be for sure and what they should be. And like when you think about like, I mean, I traveled a lot of games, a lot of stadiums, and you think of some of the other ones like the Jerryland or even Raymond James in Tampa, the character that they all have that ours doesn't have. So I don't know Meadowlands, MetLife. I don't know which one I like better. There was some I liked from each, and I was at a different time in my life in each of them. We had the infamous gate D spirals.
That's true,
right? And that was fun, especially on a day when the team wasn't doing very well. It gave us a little something to do. But I don't know. I like the rules in the old stadium better, like with the tailgating and the parking.
Yep. I hate MetLife, dude. I'll make it. I hate it. I hate MetLife Stadium. I hate it. I despise it. I wish the Jets move out as soon as possible because the money spent there, they didn't get their money's worth. And every other stadium I've been to all across the country, especially newer ones, is hands down better than this one. It's better, dude.
Let me tell you, there's no identity, right? Because we're sharing it. And I'm going to tell you something. Everyone talks about how amazing SoFi is, right? So I've been there now for a few games, and I took the tour. And like as a architectural, marvel, I mean, it's something, the building itself, and when they talk about it, when you take the tour. But I leave the tour and I'm like, wow, this is amazing. This is amazing. But then I sit down after the tour's done, I'm sit down in one of the seats and I notice that other than the paint on the end zone for the Rams for the upcoming game, I have no idea whose stadium it is. I have no idea what this stadium is for because all the signage is gone, right? Because they're all lights and there's no color for the team. It's the same as ours.
Yep.
Right. If I take that down, there's no character. And now you juxtapose that with like Raymond James, where they've got a pirate ship in the end zone, right? Or Jerryland, when you walk in and that stadium is sunk into the ground and there's all the memorabilia, it's a different feeling. And you don't have that walking into MetLife. You really don't.
No, I hate it, dude. Every other stadium you go to, you're jealous. I'm like, it's like a toaster. It's a glorified toaster. That's all it is. It's gray, it's dreary, and then you add in bad football, which makes it worse. Tons of opposing fans, lousy acoustics, all these different things. So there's two things I'm excited about this year. First is I'm hoping that this year, as opposed to other years, does not all these opposing fans. That makes it just a miserable experience. And I think the crowd led by Fireman Ed is going to be insane because we've been waiting years for this. So they're going to be in early. They're going to be loud. It'll be chaos. That's going to be different, dude.
Well, that's the one thing I was going to say that the Jets do have is even with the stadium doesn't have that electricity to it when you walk in, is we have Fireman Ed, right? I mean, Fireman Ed has been. I just wish they got back to, acknowledging and using him in the stadium the way that they had in the past, And I understand, look, Ed is the most iconic fan in all of sports in the country. There's super fans from all around the country. Other teams know Fireman Ed and get excited about Fireman Ed in a way that no other super fan generates excitement. What he can do in that stadium, the electricity that pulsates from him, that radiates from him, can overcome everything else that's negative in that stadium, in my eyes, if they allow it to happen. If the team is doing what they need to do on the field, and he's there to do that chant, and they're not, different people, because it's impossible to do it with and I like all those guys, right? Everyone,
all good.
Jetman, they're all good dudes. There's nothing against any of them. It's impossible though to get that one chant in unison when you've got different guys from different parts of the stadium all on that board, and the delay and the lag and whatever. It was just Ed just leading that whole chant. You would get that. I mean, you would get that whole stadium, like you could hear a pin drop, and then everyone at once. It's just been a little cumbersome since then, and I hope they get more back to that this year.
No, I think they will. I think the Jets realize that. Like, you're gonna have a true home field advantage this year because the fans are gonna be out of there. It's gonna be wild, man. It's gonna be. It's about time. Like, we all deserve this, man. Like, we sat through so much shit. Like, bad football, bad decisions, bad players, all these, and now we're finally like, you're sitting there, you're like, wow, we legitimately have a chance this year. Now, what are your thoughts about, like, you have a tailgate, dude, right? All these night games, man. Like, that's a whole different element, man. You like night games or you don't?
I mean, as far as throwing the logistics and everything with the tailgate, not a huge fan. But the excitement of it and being a Jet fan, I mean, that's what takes precedence over everything else. Because without my fandom and without my passion for the team, the tailgates, I wouldn't be there, right? Like I said, I do this because I'm a fan. I do this because there is no Tailgate Joe, and so I don't know. I like the attention from the national game. I like the juice that it gets. So yeah, I'll say on the whole, I'm more pro, night game and whatever.
Sucks getting home at 3:00 in the morning.
It does. It does for sure. But I think so it seems like early in the season we got a bunch of them. Later in the season, there's some more 1 p.m. games. So, as we get into the season, it won't be as bad. But, look, man, it just means that people see what we see, that this is going to be an exciting time to be a Jet fan.
Yeah, no, it's really cool, man. And so the other thing that I want to talk to you about is road trips, man, because whenever I go on a road trip, the first thing I do is I message you. I'm like, hey, man, you got a tailgate going on there? Because the one thing people don't realize is Jet fans travel, dude. Like, the Jet fans, it's like we get discounted for a lot of things, but we're loyal as hell and we travel well. Like, you saw the Green Bay game last year. The Jet fans are everywhere. The Dolphin game, even the Dolphin game last year where the game was worthless. I was down there, still Jet fans all over the place. Like, they travel well. So you do road trip tailgates too, right?
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, aside from football, travel is something that it means a lot to me. It's, I'm a ball with my history of, with my health and the things that I've dealt with. Experience is what it's all about for me in life. Beyond football, it's the experience. And so traveling is a big part of that. And so when I really got into football, it just carried over there. It was just a reason to go somewhere with some of the boys, some of the guys, and just do that. So even before I was officially Tailgate Joe, I was organizing, parties and stuff at different stadiums, especially in Miami, because I have a lot of friends down in South Florida. The first year the Tailgate Joe existed in 2009, we did a great party in Cincinnati for the wild card weekend, the first round of the playoffs. I mean, it was insane. You can go on YouTube and you can see video of it. You can see a much younger version of all my boys in Cincinnati just acting like fools. It was a great time. So yeah, we do away games. Last year, we did some stuff. We did some meetups. We did some fan meetups in Green Bay. I did a free abbreviated tailgate in Green Bay as well. We had like over 200 Jet fans showed up for that. I was cooking up burgers and beers, and that was a great time. We did a meetup in Minneapolis where we had a few hundred Jet fans. I set that up with a local bar. So yeah, Tailgate Joe's been all about that from day one, and we're going to continue to be about it. And at some point as we get closer to the season, I'll have information on that out there, and we can come on here and we can discuss it. Some real fun stuff.
Yeah, no, that's the best part. My favorite part of the road trips, other than the game and the tailgate, is the Saturday night party where everybody just gets together and hangs out. Because Jet fans are all excited, but you can get and talk to people, talk football, and just get to hear all the different stories for fans from all across the world. Because you never know who you're gonna run into. We met guys from Ireland and Germany and stuff, and it's like, wow, this is crazy. But the Saturday night is always the most fun, dude, because everybody's just relaxing and having a great time.
Yeah, being a part of, like I said, those organizations, the Tailgating Hall of Fame and Pro Football's Ultimate Fan Association, it gives me a window into the greater fandom of the NFL. So speak about that night before, this year for Buffalo, I went up to the Buffalo game, and I was hanging with a bunch of the Bills Mafia. Now everyone thinks, the Bills Mafia, and you're gonna get a hard time if you go over there as a visiting fan, but I'm friends with Pinto Ron, Captain Buffalo, all the OGs from Bills Mafia, and we are hanging out in their bars the night before, and we're hearing the stories that go on. And see, we're in a major market team, so we're kind of the team is kind of separated from the public, right? There's not a lot of interaction but you go to these smaller markets, and the guys are telling us the stories of how they would come here and the Bills players would come here after the game. And it's so-and-so player would be here. Look, there's a picture of him hanging out with us. I would come here. I hung out with this one. I hung out with that one. And you go on the back wall and there's all these pictures, these guys hanging out there. It's different when you're a small market team. And so being able to hang out with these people like we do when we travel and getting to experience, that end of fandom, it's a lot of fun. Like you said, that Saturday night's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and that's funny you said it because when we were in Buffalo a few years back, and we like after the game, we were pissed. Jets lost, of course, we're pissed off and all this shit, right? And the Bills fans were cool, dude. I had a great time with them, and they're
Yeah,
like, "Dude, you're gonna laugh." Like the backup quarterback walks in. I'm like, "Wait a minute, like the fucking players come here?" They're like, "Oh yeah, dude." Like
exactly.
it's a different like when the Bills play, the entire town shuts down. Like that's it. Bills are on, and it's just and the players are so involved in the community, which is really cool. But like. So I thought they were busting my chops. I'm like, bro, there's no Bills players coming here. And dude, sure as shit, here these come strolling in one by one throughout the night. They're they
Yeah,
hang out. It's just different, man. It's cool.
yeah.
Like I respect it. Like I don't like the Bills, but like one of my really really good friends is a Bills fan. So we go back and forth all the time. But their community is really cool, man.
Yeah, and look, man. Like I said, I'm blessed because I have like a key into that world. And for anyone watching, any Jet fan who's going to be traveling, who's going to be going somewhere, get in touch. If you want to come and hang out and have a great time, like get in touch, message me, see what I've got going on, or see what I'm going to be doing. Even if I don't have something officially going on, I'll put you, I'll punch in a direction. I'll take care of you, and really kind of broaden your fandom because, like I said, it's a whole different way of being a fan, and it's a lot of fun. And I want to share that with everyone because
No, you're the first person I call, man.
yeah, yeah,
But it's cool. But it's I'm telling you, especially for road trips, man, where it's just like you want to go, you want to have a good time, you want to go to a tailgate that you're going to be safe, good food, not deal with shit, not spend $100 a plate, $100 for like a beer and 2 hamburgers, and it's just. And there's so many fans that are looking for that, and then you're all together. You're all in one area, which makes it fun. Like, we had a blast in Carolina. That was wild. So
yeah.
it's
Those guys
really
do
cool,
it up.
man.
Yeah, like I said, please, if everyone listening or watching, don't be afraid, don't be bashful. Just get in touch with me. I'd love to have everyone join me. I'd love to meet everyone. I'd love to meet all the fans, all the fellow Jet fans, and just have a great time traveling and just representing our team, and just representing humanity as like good, decent people. Because like sports is, if we can all get along as fans from different teams and different backgrounds, then you know what, like there's still hope for humanity with everything else, because everyone just hates everyone, and we're all being pointed at the differences amongst us and why we shouldn't get along. And I think sports can be the way that we can see through that and get past that.
No, I agree, man. Like I said, whenever we travel, we always try to just embrace, have fun, man. Talk to everybody. We don't care what fans you are. We always, it's a game, dude. Like this is an escape from reality for me. Like we work, dude. We have jobs. We have all the stresses of life. Like this is just like.
Yes.
So the question is, how do we get in touch with Tailgate Joe?
Dude, I'm on every social. First of all, you can email me, joe@tailgatejoe.com. The website, Instagram is like the big one that I really kind of concentrate on, but I'm on Twitter too, Facebook, YouTube. I'm all
You're
over
terrible
the
on
place.
Twitter.
I know, man. I gotta get so there was an integration that's gone now, but even the integration with Instagram to Twitter is not good. And I used to have something else. I gotta get better with Twitter. But
Terrible.
I'm a visual guy, and my party is a visual thing.
I'm busted. But tailgatejoe.com is there. And then obviously we're gonna help promote. Like I'm going to this tailgate, dude. We're gonna be there, home opener. We're gonna do all kinds of stuff. But everything you do, we'll share on our social media as well because it's good. And the one really cool thing too is anybody knows our channel, dude. Anytime we do any kind of merch, t-shirts, koozies, whatever else, we always give back. We always raise money for charity and stuff like that. That's something really important to us because, like, this is a great platform where it's like, you know what, it's fun. We have a great time, but at the end of the day, we want to use a platform for a really good reason. Give back to the community, and that's something you do as well, man. Can you share something about that?
Yeah. So I am a double cancer survivor, not a 2-time cancer survivor, a double cancer survivor. Where I was 18. I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma, very advanced and progressive state of Hodgkin's lymphoma, and spent a year with that. And then was it 4 years ago, I was diagnosed with male breast cancer, which a lot of people are shocked to hear that that's even a thing, but it is. And so, we do use Tailgate Joe to raise money for Leukemia Lymphoma Society, Breast Cancer Research Foundation, but the most important thing for me with Tailgate Joe is having it as a platform to be able to raise awareness and to do work. It's one thing to write a check. It's one thing to go and ask a bunch of people to send you some money so that you can write a check and give it to an organization. But the way to really kind of get out there and make a difference is to just get involved with your hands and get out there and touch someone, basically. At the draft this year, I spent Friday leading a group of super fans at the local Ronald McDonald House in Kansas City, feeding 50 or 60 families, families that were visiting KC, the hospital there, for treatment for their kids. And so it's things like that are really fulfilling and what I really enjoy doing. We host veterans at Tailgate Joe. We've hosted some Make-A-Wish families and some local organizations like Make-A-Wish. That doesn't really make the social media. I'm not someone that needs to kind of, get some kid or some veteran to pose for a photo just so that they can come and hang out with us. It's not transactional for me. Charity isn't transactional. It's doing the work because you want to do it and because it's the right thing to do and you feel good doing it. And so we do a lot of that. And it's something that we're always looking to do more of. And it's something we're going to do some more of this year. I got some interesting things that we're going to be talking about later on with you as we get closer to the season.
No, and that's incredible, dude. And that's something that, like I said, I've known you a long time, dude. We've been friends for a long time. And
yeah,
that's something that, when you venture around, you try different tailgates and you kind of see what the vibe is and see what people are about. Is it like a money grab? Is it cool? Is it a family thing? Or is it a business? Like, there's all different things you look for. And that's the one thing I always knew about you, dude, is you're just authentic. Yeah, like even Daniel's saying right here, you're authentic. You're just, but that's the thing. Like we had lunch a couple months ago. It's just like, you're genuine, you're authentic. We just shoot the shit. You're honest, and that's it. And that's what it's all about. Like, we're all fans. We all want to have a good time, and you're trying to do things for the right reasons.
Yeah. Look, it's like I said. I started Tailgate Joe because there was no Tailgate Joe. There was no. Had there been an organized party or something like that, I would have just joined that, and that would have been that, and I would have just continued with my life. But there wasn't, and so I saw a need for it, and I did it, and I'm just enjoying it. It's just so much fun, just being there, and that's how I express. So. Some of these super fans, I'll get, painted up and they have the great costumes and it's awesome and everyone loves it. The way I express my fandom is through the hospitality on game day. It's from the food I cook and welcoming people, Jet fans, visiting fans, anyone that wants to come and join us. The hospitality is how I express, my love for the game and fandom.
So now the most important thing is, where in the parking lot are you? Because this is a really cool benefit, especially for fans that are from out of town that have to take an Uber or train, whatever else. Where's Tailgate Joe located? Because this is perfect, man.
Yeah, so we're in Lot E. It's the back corner, E26, and it's like there's a road that separates Platinum E and I forget what they used to be. Gold lots. Are they yellow? They used to be yellow lots? I think they're gold now. No, Lot D. The Uber pickup area is further up in E, so you can take the Uber or the train, and we're like right up from there. So we're very close to the train, very close to Uber pickup drop off. We're close to the Reds bus if you want to park over at Reds. You don't want to park at the stadium. The taxi drop off, the designated taxi drop off is right there as well. So yeah, it's a perfect spot for what we're doing, and it gives us our own little corner there of the lot to do our thing.
Yep. That was the one thing, because we used to tailgate over by Fireman Ed, and then people would take like the train and they'd call me like, "Bro, where are you at?" And I'm like, "Jesus, I gotta walk on the other side of the stadium." Like, sorry, man. Like,
and it's terrible. It's a walk.
Yeah, it's a long way.
You can go to tailgatejoe.com/location, and you can get more, info, the map and all that stuff of where we are.
No, it's awesome, dude. So again, first of all, thank you for your time. But before I let you go, you got to give me a prediction, man. So it's May 15th. We got Aaron Rodgers. The schedule's out. The draft is done. All this stuff. What is your way too early season prediction for the Jets?
Man, I mean, look, being a fan means you don't have to be realistic, right? You're a fanatic. So I don't know. Maybe we lose 2 games.
Were you going to say 15-2?
Listen, man, you're the guy that's got to get on here and be controversial and be, whatever. I'm a fan. I'm just a fan. And I don't need to be in reality. There's, everyone's like, oh, Homer, blah, 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 whatever. I'm a Homer. Fine. I'm going to say we're going to lose 2 games. I'm going to say, maybe the Chiefs get us. And you know, I don't want to lose to the Patriots this year.
No.
Maybe the Bills get us once. Maybe.
I got one more question. Do you tailgate for the preseason games?
You know, we do sometimes. We might do some this. You know, so I'll tell you what. I will be at the Giants game, even though it's an away game for the regular season. So
Really?
yeah. Oh, of course. I wouldn't miss that. You know what is? I've got a lot of friends who are Giant fans, and so they always want to come. And a lot of them do come and support me, even though it's not their team. So, you know, when we do play the Giants, I want to be there. So this way, those Giant fans who are friends of mine who want to come do what we do, see what we do, and be a part of it can do that. So I will be there for the Giants away game. Preseason, probably. Well, we don't do like a whole setup. It'll be like an abbreviated thing, you know, food-wise, donation-wise. So, yeah, probably. Well, I don't know. Normally we do the Giants one if we're the home team. We're not the home team for the Giants preseason. Yep. So we may or may not do it. It'll be on the website. I'll make an announcement. I don't know yet. So I guess we may do it for the Buccaneers then.
Okay. Well, as you figured out, you let us know. We'll tell everybody. So first of all, thank you for being as an hour time. I think I told you it was gonna be a half hour, so it was an hour. So wow. Thank you for all your time, man. And one more time, so tailgatejoe.com. That's where they can go.
Tailgatejoe.com. Instagram, it's Tailgate Joe. Twitter, it's Tailgate Joe. YouTube's Tailgate Joe. And the email is joe@tailgatejoe.com.
So then you got home games. You're going to have away games, road trip stuff. All kinds of stuff going on over there, man. You're a busy man over there.
I am. And so the website's got registration up for all the home games and the Giants away game. I don't have menus up for what we're serving those games yet. I will over the next few days or few weeks. But look, it's going to be awesome no matter what. I can guarantee you that.
It's good, man.
Thank you.
It's good. It is. I couldn't stop eating it.
Well, look, our burgers are awesome. The last few years I've been an invited talent and competitor in the New York City Wine and Food Festival Burger Bash, which is like the premier event for the New York City Wine and Food Festival. And I'm the only like non-restaurant chef that they invite. It's like 24 of like the best like chefs and culinary minds in like New York and the country. So it's really like 23 plus like some nitwit that flips burgers in a football parking lot. But we made the final judges table last year, the final four, and we take it real serious.
No, dude, you usually like during tailgates, I just drink a lot and maybe eat a little bit, but it's like I go to your tailgate, I actually eat the food because I'm like, it's good.
And I have to, before I go, I do have to, I when we talk about this, I've got to talk about my whole crew that helps me, that makes what I do possible, that makes me look good. I've got Sal's my right-hand man, and he mans the friends and the friends and family little thing to the side now. He's, not retired, but he's over to the side there. He's my right hand. I've got Chris, who's been with me forever at the grill. If you come to the parties, you'll know him. When you see him, you'll know who Chris is. Chris, Josh, Nick, Eric, Ali, Sheridan, all of Nick's boys. Vinny, of course, the best DJ in the lot. I'm lucky. I've got the best food. I got the best DJ. That's all you need for the best party. It really is.
Down. Sign me up. I'm ready. So, Joe, thank you again for your time. And as we get closer to the season, we'll go over things you have coming up, like road trips or whatever else like that. The preseason stuff, we'll keep talking about it. And that's it, man. I cannot wait for home opener, dude. You have your hands full with me because I'm going to be all fired up.
Let's do it, bro. Let's do it.
Thank
Looking forward to speaking to you a few more. Thank you.
Have a good night.
You too.